Good morning, everyone. Please stand and join us in our opening song. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. But the Spirit waits with open arms. It's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. It's waited so long for your homecoming day. It knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. We want to hold you and to wipe your tears away. When the doors unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. There is room enough in the home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Thank you. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Wilmington. My name is Myron McNeil, and I am the board member here. We want to thank you for your presence, whether you're here in person or whether you're online. We want to acknowledge the band, our music director, Katie Dees on piano, Justin Lacey on lead guitar and rhythm, and Mitch. We have a new drummer, Mitch. That's our band, all right. We have a speaker today, a guest speaker, Todd Humphrey, Reverend Todd Humphrey. Give him a welcome today. He'll be giving us our lesson, our meditation. So I guess I'll give you a little bit of background on Reverend Humphrey. He's the spiritual leader at Crystal Coast Unity in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. And he participates in worldwide ministries, field ministry program through which he recently became a licensed minister. All right. He was ordained as an interfaith minister in 2017 by One Spirit Interfaith Seminary, and will receive his Unity ordination next year. All right. So he affirms Unity teaches us and gives us the tools to transform our lives and be better people for it. Okay. And so now I'd like to bring on Oh, we gotta do our affirmations and our. Okay. Our statement of being: there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, the omnipotent. And I am a loved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose. I'm in the right place at the right time, right now. All right, Terrell.
You see who I really am, but you'll never know me every day. It's as if I lay apart. Now I see if I wear a mask, I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. I am now in a world where I have to hide my heart and what I believe in, but somehow I will show the world what's inside my heart and be loved for who I am. Straight back at me. Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Must I pretend that I'm someone else for all time? When will my reflection show inside? There's a heart that burns to free to fly, that burns with the need to know the reason why. Why must we all conceal what we
Super. Thank you, Terrell. And now, without further ado, we'll have our guest speaker, Reverend Todd Humphreys. Come on in.
Thanks, sir. So great to be here. Hey, clap again for that band and that wonderful song, Carol. Thank you so much. Ooh, I've got to take all this in for just a second. The last time I was here, everybody had to come in this side door because everything was covered in ice back in January when we had the ice storm. Remember that? And everyone that showed up that day sat on the first 6 seats over here. And so I felt lopsided. So it's so great to see so many people. And it's great that you are with us online today as well. Will you take a breath with me? Let's relax into this moment and shift to that awareness, that truth of what is inside of us. So beautifully stated in the lyrics of that song. And this material world that we are traveling around in, this incredible playground of life, and this wonderful task that we have of letting what's inside of us come forth. Right? When will this reflection show what's true about us? As I was preparing for this message, I turned to Matthew 7, verses 28 and 29. And I'll read that to you in a second. But the words inspired the message of the title of this message. And the title is A Discourse of Authority. The Discourse of Authority. And that doesn't mean it's my discourse is one of authority, but we all get invited to have a discourse of authority. We get to speak, right? We get to serve as evidence for something, yes? See, the discourse of authority that I am referring to that is teaching us how we can show up and do this ourselves, of course, is the Sermon on the Mount. You might remember that. It's the blessed bees. Anybody remember the blessed bees? So we're going to look at that a little bit today. But the important thing is, and I want to start with Matthew 7 because this is where we come with this discourse of authority. Now, when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as their scribes. That's interesting to me because when we speak from that truth that lives within us, then we show up with authority. Right? Have you known someone that was like telling you something, but they said it with such authority you truly believed it? My father used to do that a lot, and he would be making up really outrageous things. Ask me later, and I'll tell you the story of fallen rocks. I grew up in the mountains, and there were those signs that say, "Watch for fallen rocks." And he created quite a tale about a young indigenous woman named Fallen Rocks who had disappeared. But see, we can stand in authority when we speak from the truth that we know. And I love this. I don't actually have a copy of this version of Scripture, but I love this interpretation. This is from the Message, another interpretation of our Scriptures. What I read to you was from the New Revised Standard Version. This is the Message. When Jesus concluded his address, the crowd burst into applause. They had never heard teaching like this. It was apparent that he was living everything that he was saying. Quite a contrast to their religion teachers. This was the best teaching they had ever heard. When you hear someone speaking truth, the truth that they know, doesn't it settle into your spirit that you just want to burst into applause sometimes? Because you are experiencing joy. That truth showing up at the point of them. It's important to note that the religious teachers that are being referred to here, from a modern context, the religion teachers of the time were also the politicians of the day. Yes, they made the laws, right? And so this is saying that the people did not see the politicians living into the truth that they would espouse. I see that everywhere I look. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle someone sits on, in my opinion. And I get to see that because that means sometimes I don't show up reflecting the truth I know. There's something in me that needs to be healed. So I get to do that work. So that is the end of the Sermon on the Mount. Now, the Sermon on the Mount starts with Jesus, who has been traveling around Galilee. Right? He's been traveling around Galilee for a year and a half or so. It's been a while. He's been going around and he's been performing miracles. Right? Turned water into wine, walking on water, healing people. Remember this? All these stories from our scriptures. We have to remember that as he's traveling around Galilee, that Galilee represents the energy of life. Right? This energy of life that is lived in conjunction with substance. Metaphysically, substance is an idea in divine mind. Right? So Jesus is traveling around, living at the consciousness of divine mind. He is seeing the divine ideas. Right? And throngs of people are following him. This is the narrative. But the metaphysical truth of this is that Jesus has a multitude of ideas around him. And when all of these ideas are showing up, Scripture tells us that he goes up onto the mountain, and when he sits down, his disciples come to him. This tells us that with all of these ideas that are showing up in our lives, all these ideas that show up in our thoughts, we get to go up on the mountain, right? We get to elevate ourselves in consciousness and settle into the truth of who we are. That truth of what is inside, that we know is inside. And when we can settle into this truth, our disciples come to us. And our disciples, metaphysically, again, are our faculties, those 12 powers of man that Charles Fillmore writes about. Those faculties of faith and wisdom and strength and will and order and renunciation, life, love. I've probably left one out. But we get to call those forth, and we get to control them, direct their actions, because we have settled into the truth of who we are. We know that I am has sent me. Do you know that sometimes? Do you sometimes get just a glimmer that I am has sent me? Say that with me right now. I am that I am has sent me. If you're joining us online, type that in because see, we need to rest in the truth. We need to affirm that, because when we affirm, we start directing ourselves in this way that we can show up here in this material playground and be who we're called to be. Yes? So I want to read you something. This is from, some of you will know this book, Emmett Fox's The Sermon on the Mount. Classic text. Jesus concerned himself exclusively with the teaching of general principles. And these general principles always had to do with mental states, for he knew that if one's mental states are right, everything else must be right too. Whereas if these are wrong, nothing can be right. Everything Jesus taught us, everything that our way shower showed us to do is about the mental plane. It is about our thoughts and our feeling natures. We don't talk a lot about our feeling, but you have to have the emotion, right? Neville Goddard said that the emotion is the key. And so when we get our thoughts in alignment with truth, and we can feel the joy of that alignment, what do we get to do? Anybody? We experience the kingdom of heaven. Right here, right now, from within. Right? And so Jesus, he gives us some examples, and not supposed to label things good and bad, right? But there's some misguided theology in the world. I don't know if you've seen any of that. I'm guessing you have, and that's how you ended up in a Unity church, right? Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The poor in spirit. And sometimes we forget that in spirit, right? Oh, blessed are the poor, right? We kind of like believe that, oh, poor people, or, they're so God. No, right? That is not about prosperity, and we believe in prosperity. We believe that the kingdom and every good thing is available to us. And see, this idea of being poor in spirit is that very thing where we're not supposed to decide something's good and bad, especially ourselves. See, we just have to know that I am has sent me. For a very special, specific, beautiful purpose, and we are here on divine mind's perfect idea of you, of me, of all of us. And see, being poor in spirit means that we are willing to set aside the personality and live from our individuality. Do we know the difference between personality and individuality? See, personality is that ego part of us, right? And there are some teachers that would say, you've got to shed the ego. You've got to let the ego die. Well, the ego has helped me live to the age I am, and has helped you too, right? The ego keeps us alive in this playground a lot of times, right? Because without the ego reminding me that I should not go dance in the dark on the yellow lines on the highway, something bad could happen, right? So the ego keeps us alive, but when we can set aside our personality and live, make decisions, speak from the truth we know, speak from our individuality, see, we are individualized expressions of divine mind. See, God has taken this divine idea and pressed it down and presented it into visibility at the point of view, and that is the Christ of your presence. And so we get to live from our individuality when we are poor in spirit, right? Because if we're full of ourselves, full of our personality, right, you can't fill a cup that's already full, right? You have to empty yourself out so you can be filled with the Holy Spirit, the truth of who you are. Yes? Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. This one's challenging for me because I remember when my father made his transition from this life into his next adventure in spirit, and people would say things, well-meaning things. He's better off now. You ever want to punch somebody in the throat? Right? Better off, what could be better than being here with us, the people that love him, right? And see, that blessed that those that mourn is about releasing false ideas, releasing this idea that this manifest world is the end-all, be-all, what it's about, right? This is where we get to learn how to love. And so those that can recognize and mourn their own error thinking, right? Because it's only our error thinking that's wrong in the world. When we can mourn our error thinking, we can then use our faculty of renunciation. We can let it go. We can release it and stand from the truth of who we are. See, this is still a mental exercise. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. All right. Meekness is not about being subservient or being, a pushover. Meekness is about claiming nothing for ourselves apart from others. See, meekness knows that there is no separation from me and from you, and from you and from you, and from the ocean that's just a few miles away, from the trees that are right outside this window. See, meekness knows that I am one with all of creation. And so we are blessed when we know this truth because, see, if we are driving down Independence Boulevard and we see someone standing there begging for money or asking for food, and we entertain even an idea of like, well, wonder what they did to get into this situation, then we're saying it's okay for people to be in poverty. We're saying that it's okay for someone to go hungry. And if we believe ever that it's okay for someone else to experience something in this world, we're saying it's okay for us to experience it. Because at the level of spirit, we are all the Christ expressing. We are all one. And so it's about thinking and realizing in our thoughts that I am has sent you and you and you right now. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. You ever met somebody that wanted to learn, but they already had all the answers? They knew. They actually showed up to learn, not to learn, but because they wanted to show you what they knew. I recognize that because I used to be like that a lot. And sometimes I still have to heal that. Yes? And so what we have to do in focusing on righteousness is we focus our thoughts on harmony. This harmony that is established in our consciousness when we use our faculties in the right way. Right? Maybe anybody ever used their faculty in the wrong way? Will is the one that I use in the wrong way a lot because, will is about our willingness to show up. And sometimes I use my will because I want to be right and I want you to do it my way because my way is correct. Anybody else? Some people are covering their faces like, don't talk about me. So the thirst for righteousness is about bringing our mental thoughts into this place of understanding our relationship with the Father, with divine mind, with the universe, God, absolute, unlimited good and unconditional love. Or whatever name you want to ascribe to this powerful energy that is breathing each of us right now. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Right? To be merciful, we can't condemn anyone. To be merciful, we can't condemn ourselves. Let that settle in. We cannot condemn ourselves if we are merciful. Right? Because we have to consistently use this divine power that we have of blessing things. If you don't know the power of blessing, give me a call. We'll talk about blessing. But see, we get caught up sometimes in this idea that even we are bad, right? Or that we are good. We are God, good love, and sometimes we don't live from that goodness. If we lived from that goodness all the time, we would have throngs of people following us around, right? And we'd have to go up on the mountain to get some alone time. And so bless everything. Bless yourself. Bless the truth of expression. That doesn't mean we condone everything that everyone does, but we have to keep in mind that even those people that make us angry with some of the things they do in this world, they are still the Christ expressing. We get to bless them and lift them up to the truth of who they are. Yes? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. See, all of these others lead up to this point where we get to be pure in heart. We get to see the truth of who everyone is. And when we can look around the room, when we can look around the mall, when we can look at that person sitting at the traffic light that cut us off when we were on our way to church today, and we can see that that truly is the Christ expressing, we are blessing ourselves. And we are blessing them, and we are lifting everyone up to a higher place in consciousness. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Peacemakers. In the Revealing Word, Charles Fillmore writes, one who has the ability to say peace to the turbulent waves of thought and have them obey. So all this time we've been saying blessed are the peacemakers, and we think that it's just about the people in the world that go out and negotiate peace contracts. No, it's about us. It's about controlling our thoughts, about seeing all of those crazy things. Anybody have crazy thoughts that run through your head sometime? And you get to say, peace. Peace. Be still. Yes? I just want to talk about the meaning of this very end of the Beatitudes because it's about what we are really called to do. Charles Fillmore writes in Jesus Christ Heals, the new Christianity teaches a kingdom of the heavens existing now as a righteous state of mind. It teaches that man makes heaven here and now by the formative power of his thought. The kingdom of heaven is available to all of us right now. Right now. It's here inside of you, based on your ability to control your thoughts, your thinking, your mental ability, and your emotion. I don't know about you, but I have to bring it back every day. 70 times 7, over and over and over. See, that's why Jesus taught us about forgiveness. Yes, is because forgiveness allows us to clean ourselves emotionally and be present as love. And so each day we get to make this decision to clear our thoughts, to clear our hearts, and be present as the Christ. That is this opportunity every day to be reborn. And so we have this opportunity every day to make a decision. It's what Eric Butterworth calls the great decision. We get to decide for Christ. We get to decide for Christ every day. And follow the path of our way shower, Jesus, right? Deciding for Christ is not about someone else being your Savior. It's about personal accountability and taking control of your experience. Because there's always going to be an event here in this amazing manifest playground that we don't like, but we get to control our experience. We do that by deciding for Christ to live from the truth of who we are, because divine mind, this thing that has this perfect idea of you, has pressed down and brought you into visibility so that you have an opportunity to make this choice and live from this Christ presence. Yes? And that, friends, is why I am that I am has sent you right now. Yes? Let's take another breath. I I want to invite everyone, if it's comfortable, to maybe close your eyes and let's we become aware of our breath. We shift our awareness in this moment to this truth. I am that I am has sent me. I am that I am has sent me. Say that in your mind with authority. I am that I am has sent me. And focus on that thought, and then just gently notice when your mind tries to slip in that other thought. Who, me? But what about that thing I did? What about those error thoughts? We simply relax and watch that thought go by, and we bless it as we move it into our compost pile, because it doesn't serve us. I am that I am has sent me. And we relax into this moment, into this stillness. Into this indwelling presence. Right here and right now, we feel ourselves sitting high atop a mountain. The wind blowing gently across our skin. And we relax into this moment, knowing that we are one with the wind. We are one with the mountain. And so we just relax and sit here for a moment in the silence, in the stillness, in the truth of I am. I am that I am has sent me. The Father and I are one. This infinite intelligence has pressed down and brought me into visibility, that I might clear my thoughts and simply be love. perhaps your breath has slowed. The tension has drained from your body. And so with this deep sense of peace, be still. I invite you to bring your awareness back to this space, this time, an awareness of the truth that no matter where we are right now, we are here together at the level of spirit. And together we proclaim, I am that I am has sent me. Say that with me now. I am that I am has sent me. And so it is. Thank you, friends.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Todd Humphrey. That was an awesome message. We want to thank you for sharing with us this message of the Beatitudes and how I've really gained something of a high. It relates to me and not outside of me. It's something in me. It's going to change now. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your understanding of these unity principles today. This time I want to say that we rejoice in the abundance of giving and receiving. And as it manifests itself in all our affairs, we get to give and support Unity of Wilmington. And I say that because our donations supports the music, the ministers, the youth ed program, the guest speakers, our outreach programs, and our classes, the online and in-person classes. We get to give our donations in 3 ways: through Facebook, through Venmo app, and Unity Online has a donate button. And if you hear, the ushers will bring forth the baskets and you can donate while you're here. I invite you to say with us our blessings together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna think the blood gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, my skin will fire away. 'Cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are glorious, yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh. This is me. And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of, yeah. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I'm not scared to be seen more than I'm supposed to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. I am gonna send I'm gonna send the flood. I'm gonna drown them out. Oh yeah, this is me.
Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, band. We want to give our blessings for the love offerings, for all the gifts we've received, your offerings, your time, your talent. Our speaker, Reverend Todd Humphrey, the musicians. We know that we have been blessed today by this service, and we become the blessing. All right, we have a few announcements. Unity and Unity of Wilmington are founded on prayer. If you have a prayer request, forms and the prayer box over here by the door window. They'll be prayed over for 30 days by our prayer partners and then sent to Silent Unity for another 30 days of prayer. Will the prayer partner for today please stand? Reverend Ellen. Okay. She is wearing a purple yellow ribbon and, well, you see her standing there. She'll meet you over at the prayer room here after service. Thank you, Reverend Ellen. Submit to the e-blast to stay up to date on the news and events. Let's see, we have some special announcements. The Recipe for Success, Stepping Stone's virtual Zoom events coming up in August the 20th from 10 to 1 p.m. We now have our why of Unity of Wilmington, why we exist, and our next step is to further define our how and what, using what we already discovered. So you can sign up to receive the Zoom link. Sign up sheet is in the back, or you can call 910-763-5155 or email Wendy at admin@unitywheel.com. Okay, Community Connections will be August the 21st after this celebration service. This is a time for our board and the community to come together and discuss relevant issues. So that'll be the 21st. Today, we have Ice Cream Novelty Super Sunday. So the love offering is $5 today for the Ice Cream Super Sunday. All right. Okay, so now we'll close with the peace song. Oh, we have to do the prayer protection first. We'll do that together. You know that one too. Okay, together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God enfolds us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let this